I hope this is the right position. I'm not sure. The other day, some of you said that it wasn't the right position, but I don't know how to. I don't know if it's. Is it upside down or is it sideways? Hello, spirit. I just hope that this holder, like this, doesn't fall. I can definitely sense like my phone is heavy. So I hope that this doesn't, it does have this little like, I don't know, grabbers or something like that. Like, um, hey, Muffy. So I don't know if this is going to fall. I hope not. But oh well, it's what I got, guys. I bought it at the last minute. I was like, how am I supposed to hold my phone and face the table? You know. Well, you already know my not so hopeful tones. Like, I try not to be negative, but I'm like, I hope this goes well. Because it doesn't seem very stable. But when I bought it, they said that um it was going to hold, but I don't know. So how are you guys? Since a lot of people actually, well, a lot of people, not many people responded my community post, I decided to take the recommendations of people that are always here and that are always present in my lives and that they are part of my community, very small community like we are. So I'm going to do some friendship readings um that we did talk about last time, and if they were some of them were mentioned. So yeah, I'm going to work on those today. Yeah. Honestly, I'm worried the person has pics of other idols. Oh, it's just the first try run today. Yes, I hope it goes well. Okay, so I have on my list all my friendship readings. I do have the first ones is the boys Chani and Hyunjae, that I think that it was requested by Kuromi. I know she's not here, but hey hope. Then I have from Spirit, she asked me to do a friendship reading for I.M and Hazy. And then from this one I got from my comment section, it's for Stray Kids Han and Lino. So I guess I'm going to be doing those, and then we can discuss a bit about it. And also if you have another one, maybe after I'm done with these ones, we can add a few more. But yeah. Not the Han and Lino. I know, but at least this person, like I notice her comments. She or he, I don't know who this person is. But it's very insistent, and I don't know. Maybe for us that I do not do shipping readings, but if these are a very supported duo, I guess I can pull some cards for them. But not in the way some people think. I can see love and appreciation, but not other perceptions. I don't go that far. Mm. Oh, really? Oh, there's a lot of shipping. There's Han and Lino, but there's also Lino and Minhyuk. Oh, okay. Yeah. And I'm going to shuffle this because this is a new deck. So the cards are brand new. So I'm going to shuffle them very well. Shipper, everyone. Let me order my sushi real quick, okay? A friendship reader for Park Seo-ham and Park Seo-chan. Who are those? Because with the Park, I'm really missing, like, who are these Park Seo-ham and Park Hae-chan? This is a new deck. I know that the back, it seems like another one that I have, but this is like older version, like a different, like a bit more actually it's called the Radiant Tarot because it's more radiant. It has like brighter colors than the usual. Um, um, and uh, semantic error. No, I didn't. Oh no, I didn't. I should. You know how I love tarot decks, and I do love the ones that have like very distinguished shades, like, or designs. Even if it's the same system as the others. I mean, it's a Rider White. It's not like you haven't seen it. You haven't seen me use but this is a different version. Actually, it's not comfortable because I fear that these sort of scissors are not going to hold the phone and it's going to fall. Especially when I try to read the comments that I... ¿Por qué no te veo hoy? Porque voy a hacer un interactivo, Miss Julia. I'm going to do live readings today. Yes, I have to have faith in this very flexible, like, tripod kind of thing. Okay, let's start with the first one that it's I see that there's no Jobbies here yet. Here I present, but I'm going to start with them so we don't lose time. Okay, I hope that I can place the cards so you can see them. I'm going to place Chani New on the left and Hyunjae on the right. In the middle, the relationship, bond, friendship. Okay. Chani over here. Hyunjae over here. And in the middle, the the bond. Okay. And another thing that I do enjoy about my tarot decks is when they are borderless, when they do not have borders. Okay, so for this duo, the boys New and Hyunjae, from New's perspective, I sense a very motherly kind of love and appreciation, in the sense that he probably embodies very well this very nurturing kind of energy. It's like he doesn't mind to actually being on the role of taking care of others and actually showing that he cares. It's like probably he's very like always emotionally available, like but in a sense of not overly like affectionate, just like okay, taking care of your needs, like okay, what do you want, what do you need, because we have the Chariot and we also have the King of Pentacles, and let's not forget that the boy's new is a double Taurus. He is a sun and a moon in Taurus, so he is definitely very Venusian, he's very much in touch with his Venusian energy, with him being very connected to the most sensitive and feminine side. But at the same time, he is someone that is very grounded. I mean, whatever he does or he gives in a bond or in a relationship, he does it from a place of always moving forward with the relationship and building a sort of alliance. In the sense that he is very realistic about what he wants in a relationship. He is like, okay, I'm giving you this of me, and I expect you to be this. For example, like, okay, I'm giving you this and you have to give me back the same because I'm counting. Somehow there's a lot of Taurus energy, in the sense that his perspective of how he feels for Hyunjae is this sort of like love and respect. If you love me, or if you want me in your life, like, yes, I can like give you love and attention, but at the same time I want you to give me the same back, because I'm paying attention. And for Chani, it's like actions matter. It's like he remembers every little favor he does for others, and he's like somehow like an accountant of how much he invests on himself, of himself on others. And he actually has a sort of like, I think that when it comes to Hyunjae, it's like he does appreciate Hyunjae, but at the same time he also views himself as the one in control in the relationship. So I don't think Chani is older than Hyunjae. I don't remember his ages exactly, but I think that there's a sense that probably Chani feels or thinks of himself as more mature than Hyunjae, and that he has much more abilities, especially when it comes to paying attention to details. And actually, Chiny does value himself a lot. It's like he's someone that he definitely knows what what he allows in his life and what he doesn't allow. He's a bit of, I wouldn't say like a diva, but yeah, there's something about that, because he got a king and a queen, and also the Chariot. So it means that he is not going to hide that he definitely, if he does something for others, he expects a sort of like retribution. And actually, it's not, because if it was about fairness, we should get like a card of duality, or a card of, I don't know, the justice. I don't think it's about give and take. And I don't think that it's about, oh, let's treat each other like we are equals. I think that when it comes to Chani, for Chani, what is important, is that you don't make him waste his time somehow. He is someone that emotionally he works like that. If he cares about you, he does. um he puts a lot of himself, but it depends on who you are. He's a bit picky and selective, and a great administrator of his time and his uh and the way he feels. So in this case, I think that for Hyunjae, he feels like there's an advance in the relationship, that but somehow I don't know if to say that he feels superior to Hyunjae, but he is like, he definitely knows how to put boundaries to Hyunjae energy. In the sense that I don't know if he feels like Hyunjae is a bit childish sometimes, but it's like, okay, if you want to hang out with me, you have to behave. Or, like setting a few like conditions almost. This is why I think that, and I don't think that is just for Hyunjae. I think that probably this is the way he is with the way he expresses his love language. It's like he has a lot of feelings, and he's someone that he loves his people. But somehow he's also a good, like, he knows what he like I mentioned in a few moments ago, like he doesn't waste his time, and he's always like in this sort of pedestal, like it's really hard to get, like, I believe Chinese like acceptance somehow, because he is this sort of like um the one that rules a lot of relationship in the voice, I would say. So I don't know much, so if there are some Diobis here, like, then afterwards, if you watch this later, maybe you can give me sort of feedback, because I don't know if I'm seeing this correctly, but this is what I'm getting from his side. And from the side of Hyunjae, let's remember Hyunjae's energy. He is a Virgo sun with the moon in Aquarius, and he got the Magician, he got the Hierophant, and also the Two of Cups. So yes, definitely there's a lot of love and respect and admiration for this from Hyunjae's perspective as well. If you notice, Chinese also got a card of cups, and Hyunjae also got it. So there's a reciprocity here, and definitely there's feelings. Like I mentioned, I don't do shipping readings, so when I say feelings and appreciation and love, I don't mean it like in that way. But if some people do feel the need to, I don't know, see it from another perspective of being like, oh, are cards of love, to each their own. You can interpret this as you want, but I tend to not go that deep. Um, and also from Hyunjae, definitely here, I think that we have two people that they in their own world. I think that from their own different perspective, each of them have a sort of pride. I think that Hyunjae also getting the Magician, he is someone that he also is very influential of others, and that he knows he has the power in relationships or in connection with others. He is very, and this card, the Magician, is always like very mercurial at the same time, and that Hyunchae does have a lot of mercurial energy in him. So definitely he knows how to put his resources to get what he wants. He's someone that he knows when to say things. He knows, and he's also someone that he loves to somehow twist, or I wouldn't say manipulate, but he's very intelligent in this sense. Like, he knows that probably if he does mess up in something, he knows how to make things right, or to make things look not so serious like they appear. It's especially I think that it has to do with communication. So I don't know if maybe in the past he had a sort of controversial sayings or opinions that probably, since we see from Chinese perspective that the first card that he got is a Queen of Cups, so definitely we can see that that probably Chani or New is a bit more sensitive or a bit more susceptible to opinions, and I sense that Hyunjae probably enjoys a lot, like somehow saying a few things, even though he knows that it can be a bit problematic, or like he is a jokester at heart, and he definitely follows his own rules, because we have the Hierophant here. So somehow I think that there's a lot of pride in Hyunjae's point of view, especially when he knows that the other person cares about him. I think he takes things as far as he can go, because he knows that he's loved, or he knows that that person likes him. So it's that he likes to push some people's buttons, especially with comments, so, and he definitely sees himself like in a sort of position where he can, like, if you get offended somehow, for him he can change and be like, oh, I didn't say what you thought you heard, like he's a bit of um um I think that he is a shapeshifter somehow, and I think that this is something that, like the way I mentioned for Chinese, I think that this is the way they both communicate, and somehow there's a bit of friction. There can be a bit. I don't know if the person that requested this, she asked for this too, because I don't know, maybe she saw something, she maybe she saw something particular in the way they behave. I think that they are in good terms, actually. I think that they are okay, but I think that these people are also, the two of them, they are very stubborn in their way of expression, that if they have to apologize to each other, like I would see them, like both of them trying to escape or trying to get away from having to say sorry. Like somehow, like being like, okay, I prefer to avoid you, or I prefer to ignore you, or avoid an uncomfortable conversation, because I know that you're the one that's supposed to say that you are sorry, because I am perfect and I don't apologize. So here there's these two are very strong in their egos, and also they are very accustomed to be right. This actually doesn't mean that there's like differences or something like that, but I think that what this show me is that probably this sort of way of connection, I think that they do it, um like they do it with others, not just among them. Like this is their sort of love language, in which both of them feel like a sort of like entitled, like, okay, I'm going to say something, or I'm going to do something in this relationship because I believe I'm right. So, um, the cards that they got for the relationship as an overall, they got the Page of Cups, they got the Moon card, and the Five of Pentacles. So yeah, they could be, especially in the next months, like a bit like a bit uncomfortable emotionally, but I don't think that this has to do actually them with their perception of each other. I think that this is something that actually I had read for the boys when I read for the group, that there's a lot of emotions floating in the air. There's a lot of like things that can happen, that somehow there's a fear of not knowing where you stand when it comes to not knowing if you're going to continue or not. There's a sense, not a fear of losing, but there's a fear of not having enough. And actually, since these two members are earth signs, we have Taurus and Virgo, there's also this sense of them having a very strong fear of losing stability. So I think that they probably can be a bit moody around each other, but it's not because of there's something happening personally with them. I think that the atmosphere of the group and everything that they are going through, it that somehow makes them feel emotional. Like probably their body language or the way they talk, you can actually sense that maybe there are members that are a bit more aloof or a bit more disconnected from what they have to do, and there are others that probably are very sensitive. So I think that this has to do with the group's transition more than something bothering them. So I definitely sense that they have to work on this, that these are going to be periods of a lot of adaptation, that actually, yes, there's a lot of sensitivity, but there are feelings, and here there's a strong bond, there's a strong connection. It's just that I think that both of them in their own experiences are trying to deal with, somehow trying to hold on to be the most logical and the most trying to keep it sane. I don't know how to explain this, but I think that for them there's a fear, there's an unconscious fear here. Like probably there are other members that are feeling it more, are feeling a bit nervous, and are feeling a bit uncomfortable. So definitely I see that these two, Chani and Hyunjae, probably are, I wouldn't say the most stable, but they try to make it seem like they are okay. Probably if they are going through some struggle or some insecurity, they are not going to tell it to people. They are going to keep like adapting to uh whatever activity they have to do, because if you notice, there's no cards of sorts. So these people doesn't communicate very well their emotional needs. But these are definitely people that are very loyal to the people that they love. It's just that they have very different ways of showing that they care. They show it. They show it with presence, with being there, with hanging on. Even though there are moments of where they feel just as insecure as anyone, they just keep it strong. This is why I told you. They got, Chani got all these the chariot, he got all these king, the queens, and then we have from Hyunjae, he got the magician, he got the hierophant. So these are people that they keep going. They are very very reliable force uh, in the voice. So they can seem a bit cocky, but actually it's because they are enduring a lot. And I don't know if maybe they are like a sort of the backbone of the group, like that they prefer. And actually I noticed that they are very optimistic, that there's no, even though there's fear in their unconscious mind, it's not that um it's very hidden. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, I'm going to continue with I.M, Mosaics, I.M and Hazy. I.M on the left and Hazy on the right. Oh, I cannot. I don't know how to cover this. Okay, I'm going to do this. I don't. What sign is Hazy? I do not remember her. I do not remember. Okay, I do remember I.M. I know that I.M. It's an Aquarius with the moon in Aries. So, but Hazy, I believe that isn't she a Leo? I believe she's a Leo. Okay. Um. Yeah. From. Okay. Um. For example, for the side of I.M, he got the Page of Cups, the Five of Swords, and then he got the Nine of Swords. So yeah, from his perspective, I believe he definitely does have a lot of admiration for her in the sense that he likes her, you know, like definitely, like there's like an honesty, their honesty here when it comes to feelings. So maybe the project that they did was very emotional for him as well, and collaborating with her allowed him to connect with that. But there's also, like here with the Five of Swords, the Nine of Swords, there's a lot of like torment, you know, like you know, when you feel like, okay, am I doing okay, like somehow like feeling a bit like overwhelmed by her talent, or probably by her presence, you know. I don't know if maybe he is a bit like uncomfortable when it comes to social interactions, because I definitely sense that his feelings are positive, you know, that he feels very positively when it comes to her. But there's also a lot of insecurities, you know, like, okay, am I doing this correctly, like I don't want to embarrass myself, like, okay, like, oh, I have a, you know, there's a lot of things that he wanted to say or that he wanted to express with her, but somehow he felt like he couldn't say it. And I think that this does have to do with delivering a message. You know, probably he was left with a lot of things that he wanted to say, but probably when he was in front of her, he couldn't talk, or he couldn't say. You know, it's like, oh, I better do not tell you what I'm thinking because you are going to think that I'm weird, and I don't want that. But you really should know that I really admire you, and I'm really happy that we got to do this. Like there's a sense of, feeling very joyful, feeling very good emotionally. Probably he really wanted to collaborate with her, and this was very important for him. It's just that it's just that there are a lot of things unsaid here, and like we were talking earlier with when I read for the boys members. um from his perspective, more than being like, oh, okay, what is this bond, how does he feel about her, I think that this tells me more about the way he communicates when he likes someone, and I'm not talking about romance here. I'm talking about how do I do what do I do when I really enjoy someone's company, for example, like okay, like should I tell them, should I text them, I don't want to sound annoying, so I keep it all to myself and then it's very heavy for me because I have all these things, and probably this has to do also with creation, and maybe he wants to invite her again, like, okay, can we talk about, I want to do another thing, like, can you help me with this, can we write some more, can we do some more, and actually he doesn't want her to know because probably he feels like he doesn't want to be a burden for her, like, so probably the admiration that he feels somehow makes him feel very small, like, oh, I don't know, that she's so talented, and here I am like trying to ask her for more, or ask her for I don't know, a favor. So there's this sense of him actually not knowing when to ask for things. I think that probably for I.M there's this sense of like, I don't want to show others my vulnerability, so I keep it all to myself. So I quit, or I retire, or I leave the situation, I leave the room, I leave the other person hanging somehow, because that's my way of telling the other person that I am not that strong, that I'm not actually, it's not that, I think that it doesn't have to be with him being mysterious or feeling like he is, I don't know, too much or too important. I think that is his own insecurity that somehow when he feels very inspired, or somehow when he feels very comfortable with doing something that he loves, he then starts to regret his decision. So he's like, okay, I better take my swords and I will leave. I'm going to leave, and I don't care if the others get hurt or misunderstand me in the process. I'm going to leave, like, and I'm not going to tell you anything, just, I'm going to keep it to myself, and then when I have to go to sleep, I will be like this. These are all the sorts of the things that the list of things that I wanted to say to you that I couldn't, or, so for him, it's a whole process of actually learning to love himself. This card, I think that more than talking about how he feels about his connection with her, I think that this is a representation of a lot of encounters and situations he does have. And probably this, it wouldn't surprise me if this is something that he usually have have these sort of situations repeated with females. Like probably um he tends to give the impression that he's much more stronger than what he is, and and actually I sense that he's really shy. He's really shy. Yeah, his energy is not very. I mean, he's a really sweet guy. It's just that he fears a lot. he fears a lot, and sometimes he doesn't take the initiative, which I believe that probably his moon in Aries is like, I don't know, like probably like kicking him somewhere. Because it's like, come on, I mean, like you should do something, like come on, like you should do something. But there's a lot of things that he should, like, definitely there's a lot of regrets here, so probably I believe that probably he wants to work with her again, or probably he wants to see her again, I don't know, but he didn't do much. And in Hazy's side, she got the 8 of cups and she got the 4 of cups, so, and the devil. So I think that in the case of Hazy, she probably, like, I sense that she is actually very, like, um she's very intuitive as well, because she also got cups. But you know how this person is walking away from his cups, so could it be that she rejected him, or that she was like, oh yes, thank you, but no? um this could be, or probably she got tired of waiting for him to make a decision, so she decided to walk away peacefully, like to be like, okay, I'm moving on. um and she is a bit also, but this also has to do with creation, guys, because we are talking about these people that actually they worked on something creative together, so it makes sense that they got a lot of cups. But I think that probably the reason why she said no, or she walked away from this, is because she actually is a bit apathic herself. So I think that, despite, yeah, of her being a Leo, I think that she's a kind of Leo that sometimes the spotlight is too boring for her. I don't know much about Hazy, but I think that definitely she seems like a very sensitive person. So probably, yes, she goes on the stage. Yes, like she can do it. She has the image. She has the the shining. She has the talent, but somehow she is in a period where she is being offered a lot of, like, probably collaborations or work related things, and she's a bit like, oh yes, thank you, but no, I'll pass. And and actually I think that she had been feeling like this for a while. I think these two are two tormented souls. And I'm not saying like tormented to be like, oh, they are not miserable. It's just that they are so sensitive, because if you notice, the both of them start with cups. So there's like a lot of emotions here, but emotions that are not well processed. So this is why I always tell you, actually, guys, that whenever we talk about idols and emotions and feelings and relationships, sometimes it's not easy, and in a industry like the one that they work on, to talk about feelings, and to talk about, not feeling okay with certain things, and feeling the void, and wondering if this is actually what you really want, or do I really want this? I don't know if you noticed, but the cards that I pulled for the boys members, and now the cards that I'm reading for I.M and Hazy, none of these cards represent one's element. None of these cards are ones. It means that fire is lacking here. So it means that these people, what they have in common until now, is that yes, there's a lot of emotions. These are very creative people, very imaginative people. They have a lot of potential, but somehow they also have a bit of a stagnation in their energy. Probably a lot of ideas, yes, but the movement, the fire, the passion is missing, at least for the moment being. I'm not saying that they're always going to be like this. And then she got the devil. So I think that probably there could be like someone very ambitious, like trying to refrain her or trying to hold her down, so she stays in this. Probably there's someone like a manager or someone, trying to somehow restrict um like her possibilities to get out of this apathy. Probably for her to be she is in this sort of posture because whatever is being offered to her, it doesn't represent her, so she doesn't want to take projects that don't represent. And probably she is in this sort of very personal state where she doesn't know who she is, or she's struggling with finding, again, finding her inner fire, her inner motivation. Because actually, Leo people are very like motivational, but somehow here I don't see the fire. So, and there's a lot of greed here. There's a lot of greed, there's a lot of hidden intentions, there's a lot of people trying to manipulate her, and probably this is why she is like refusing a lot of things. Um, she is thinking about her well-being. Probably she's thinking about, okay, how can I escape this? But it's not easy. And then for them, they got the Tower, they got the Hierophant, and the Eight of Swords. So definitely what they have in common is that they both want some things to get destroyed. And since we have the Hierophant in the middle, it can mean also being able to get out of the manipulation of certain companies or certain institutions. I don't think it's just about companies. I think that it's also about old mindsets. Probably, I don't know, religion, the way they were educated. These two people are. It's like they know that they had been feeling like this because they somehow had been like so tied up to what people wanted out of them. So they definitely want this tower moment to happen. They want it. But this is not the moment yet. This is not the moment. They will eventually. But I think that it needs, they need to still navigate this sort of uncertainty. They need to navigate this somehow to learn a more valuable lesson, because somehow the institutions, I believe, are going to stay the same for a while. um and maybe after these sort of structures will fall, um maybe they will be able to be a bit more free to meet each other. For now, I don't think that each of them is like in a perfect, in an ideal mind state. I think that both of them are regretting certain things, but they are trying to deal the best they can. It's not their fault. It's just that, like this card here, the Hierophant, it's about the lessons that we learned, what we were told, what the adults had taught us, what we learned at school, what the managers, what the companies. There are a lot of giant people, like pulling the strings, and somehow, yes, you do have, very very small people like beneath the pyramid, like um, this is why we sometimes, when we think about the structures, or some like very old institutions, Sometimes we think it's companies, but the ones that are pushing the companies to be this way, or to stay being horrible like always, or having a horrible management, they are the puppets of someone bigger. So, it's like a chain. It's like a chain. So, yeah, it's deeper. Okay, I'm going to continue with Han and Lino. Try to shuffle very well because this is a new deck, so I don't want the cards to have like a sort of continuation. And these cards are very slippery, so I don't want jumping cards, but okay. Han and Lino. I'm going to place Han on the left and Lino on the right, okay? And, oh, naked people again. Lino. The relationship. Bond. Okay. So let's remember a bit their energies. I believe Han is Virgo Sun with the moon in Pisces, and Lino, we know that he's a Scorpio with the moon in Sagittarius. Yes, especially with slippery, because these cards, they have like this glowy kind of, like cover that is beautiful, but it's very tricky to shuffle them, and they can jump everywhere. And I'm not from the from the tribe of people that read like they take jumpy cards. Like, I don't. I just pull the cards like from the deck. Because if they are jumping, it's because of the fabric, that the material of the card is not because the card itself wants to come out, at least from my perspective. Um, okay, so Hangat, the Judgment card, the Knight of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. So I think that from Hans' perspective, he definitely has been going through some changes in his persona. He's still a very loving and open person. Probably he's someone that he's really good at communicating how he feels. I think that he is, well, if he is a moon in Pisces, definitely his emotions run deep. But also he can change a lot. a lot, probably what he loves today, then he can get bored of that. He's not that, like, oh, how can I say this? He's not that fragile emotionally. Actually, he is very stable because we have the Queen of Pentacles here. So I think that when it comes to probably his relationship with Lino, there's a sense that he thinks that some things should change. Um, because he is someone that he definitely invests a lot of himself for others. Probably he does put others in first place, or he's always like willing to help others. He's like, he's someone that he's, like the Queen of Pentacles. He's very nurturing, he's always of service, he's always waiting to help the people that he loves, to assist the people that he loves. So probably he's thinking like, okay, I want that for myself. Like, sometimes it's like he does wonder, because he is very emotionally intelligent. He does wonder, why do I always offer my cup of love to others and I don't get the same? And like I mentioned, when I read from his part, I don't think that it has to do only related to his bond with Lino. I think that this is a sort of pattern in the way he communicates his needs. There's something about his own needs that he had been somehow putting aside to somehow, yes, to make others feel safe or make others feel loved, and he often forgot about himself. And I think that probably in the last months he had been experiencing a few events in his life where he realized that he didn't put himself as a priority, and that actually this is his responsibility only. So he is like, he is going to continue loving the people that he loves. In this case, we are talking about Lino. So definitely, when it comes to Lino, Lino is loved by Han. Han loves him very much, but he also wants to invest in himself. He probably is going to like put a lot of more effort and intention in growing himself as an individual, and also like, um, getting more, like he wants to invest in himself and getting more things done. The Queen of Pentacles also is someone that it's very earth. It's very they worry about their stability. They worry about their well-being. They worry about their body. So probably he's thinking like, okay, maybe I'm putting so much of myself in others and I'm forgetting about myself. So he's like, okay, I need to get back to work on myself and my self-esteem. And also I think that he's also thinking about his work. Somehow there are a lot of things that he wants to invest for himself. Probably he does have a project, or he's like, I don't want to be always like so willing and so invested to go like this Knight of Cups, to go run into others, and and give them my love and my devotion, and be like, okay, here I am to save the day, I'm going to make your life better, here, take my cup, take my love, my never-ending love. I think he is a bit more like, okay, I need to also think about myself, and I need to also think about what my stability, because somehow he does feel a bit unstable. um and I don't think that it's unstable mentally, like I mentioned, because there's no cards here of sorts. So definitely these people do communicate their needs, and they probably have a very intuitive connection. They probably look at each other eyes and they know it, but somehow he wants more. So I don't know if maybe this also has to do with wanting more, like, I wouldn't say a commitment from Lino, but probably he wants like more, like consistent kind of interaction, where probably he had gone through something, and probably he wanted Lino to be there, or he expected Lino to be there, and Lino wasn't. So he's thinking about that. He's thinking like, okay, in order for our bond to continue, I need you to show me with actions that you will be there. Because I'm always ready to assist you. I'm always ready to see you, to come see you, and I always find myself alone and dealing with my things alone. So, so in the case of Lino, we have the Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups. So definitely, I think that actually it's really it's amazing actually, because actually he got a lot of pentacles here, and Lino actually is the water sign here, and he got more pentacles than the Virgo guy here. But maybe it's because Lino has, I believe his Mars is in Virgo, so probably yes. Actually this year has been a lot. Lino has had a lot of things to work on, So I think that probably if he wasn't there for Han, like I don't mean to like excuse it, or to give it like and like an excuse, but we don't know what happens, um but I think that Lino has been busy. I think that Lino has been really busy studying, like, and I think that for Lino, it hasn't been easy either, because, he got these cards of always putting the effort, like always having to be patient, like, yes, work, work, work. But, at the end, it seems like he never gets the final recognition that he deserves for all the effort that he's putting, because I believe that probably a lot of people are like, oh, yes, Lino, we want to work with you. We have a project. We want you to be there. Okay. And he goes and he puts the effort and he stays up for hours and he does everything, like physically, mentally, to be ready, to be professional. And yes, at the end, he does have like these sort of reunions where he's feeling like he's part of something bigger. And also, I think that um that he's been celebrated, and also like a lot of people are cheering for Lino. A lot of people are like seeing him. So I think that he got a bit distracted by the work, the celebrations, probably, I don't know, meeting different people. I don't want to say like parties, but probably yes, going out to celebrate with his co-workers that are very different from Han. So probably yes, I think that this is all work related actually. I think that maybe if from Lino's perspective, he had been busy, he had been doing things. But I think that for Lino is like, okay, I went there and I did as they told me to do. This is not about his inner desire. But he had actually discovered through all these activities and all these responsibilities that he actually had a lot of fun, that he actually has a lot of fun doing this, being busy or doing things for him. I think that in the case of Han has been going through some very emotional and some very like, going through the judgment card, that it's about also like somehow like doubting a bit, like, okay, why am I doing this for? Is this really my calling? Is this really what I want to do? And in the case of Lino is really excited, waiting for his hard work to pay off. So they are both in different stages in life. So maybe this is why they have this sort of like, it's not this connection, because there's a lot of love and like, um how can I say that, there's a lot of like um compatibility, but I think that they are both focused on different things. And I think that the Scorpio Lino actually has more stability than the Virgo Han, you know. So I think that this is the, like I mentioned, for a lot of Lino readings, this is Lino's year. But like I mentioned, I don't think that Lino actually choose this, you know, like, oh, I have a goal, I want to work on this and I want to participate in all this. I think that he was like, okay, one day they were like, okay, we are sending you there, you have to play this role, you have to do this, and somehow things started to grow for him, you know. So yes, and the cards that they got as an overall, they got the King of Wands, and now we got Wands card, guys, we are free. The four of Wands and the Five of Wands. So yeah, I think that probably mm, yeah, this kind of ones, I don't know why, but I think that it does represent a person. Probably that from Hans' perspective, it can be like someone that is like trying to separate them. I don't know. It sounds really like, but there's a bit of competition here, and I believe that it's for Lino, because I think that, you know, this King of Wands is looking at this Knight of Cups. So, you know, it's as if, I don't know, Han was like inviting Lino to, oh, let's go hang out, and somehow this dude comes out and it's like, no, Lino is not going to go with you because he's going out with me. We are going to this party, we are going to this huge celebration where we are all happy. And, you know, there's a bit like, you know, and Lino being like this, you know, like feeling like there's a lot of like friction and tension, but he's a bit clueless, actually, to be honest. You know that Lino is my bias, but I think that sometimes I think that Lino tends to get distracted very easily, especially in emotionally. Even though he is a Scorpio, I would say that sometimes he is a bit like a child. Like he goes after the shining lights, you know, that probably he gets distracted, especially if he's having a good time, you know. It probably he gets distracted easily, and probably if he has like a prior commitment with someone, or someone somewhere he has to go, he can totally forget and go, I don't know, somewhere, I don't know, go hang out with other people instead, you know, and forgetting about the previous commitment that he made with another friend, you know. But I don't think he does it intentionally. I think that sometimes he does get a bit like excited for these new connections, because I believe that since this year has been really busy for Lino, probably he had the possibility to make different connections. And well, this guy here probably is a very popular also idol that is somehow becoming very close to Lino. So he's like also inviting him to, you know, to another reunions and meeting others, you know. But this is going to be like a conflict of interest in the Han and Lino dynamic. So I don't think it's going to be serious, no, because there's a lot of love and appreciation. But oh, I missed this already. But I think that yeah, they should talk about it. I don't know, but yeah, there's some tension in the air. And I don't have much people now. I mean, Han and Lino were the the last ones on my list. So I don't know if you have another topic, guys, that you want me to pull cards. Who is Sungyu? Hi, Fluffy. No, I wrote down a few of the people that actually like did ask on my community. But I'm not already. Okay. But first, I'm going to do this brief reading for Somi and Itzy. She was. Are they still friends? Okay. Somi and Itzy, but I'm going to do brief one. Like, I'm going to pull two cards each. Somi and Itzy. And then Infinite Leader. Somi, Itzy. Oh, you can the naked people again. And they're. Sorry. Okay. Um. From Somi's perspective, she got the Nine of Cups and the Moon card. So yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think that there's something about Somi, yes, feeling a bit like I don't know if this is correct that she was supposed to be in Itzy, but there's a bit of probably she had this feeling that she was going to make it, like like because she started with the nine of cups. So there's this feeling of joy, pride, you've been like, okay, I got it, like, oh yes, I am the one, and somehow this moon card being like, you didn't see things clearly, actually you didn't notice the red lights, and um so yeah, I think that probably she felt a bit confused. And but I think that this actually triggers something like very very unconscious insomnia, in the sense that probably she, I don't know why, but she has this sort of perception that she's always going to get what she wants. And somehow this that happened with is it JYP, I believe. It was like a sort of like test. So I don't know if maybe they didn't choose her at the end because they were like, oh, we want to teach you a lesson somehow, and I'm not saying this is right or not wrong. I'm just saying that that for her it was like a very, like it hit her in her feelings but also in her unconscious fears, somehow, like, oh my god, like I'm not chosen, like why, so I think that somehow the person that said no was like because she seemed too confident or something like that. I don't know why, but it was done in that sort of like but from her perspective she was a bit like shock, and even like it made her feel insecure. Actually, it made her feel like, like actually she wasn't like probably she wasn't paying attention. She actually got a bit paranoid, I would say, because she was going to, like, I believe that, I don't know, maybe she was too praised, like people praising her for a lot, and somehow then the no was like a very harsh hit to her reality. There's something here, like something about, oh, I think, like, I don't know, like for her it was very, they were very dark moments, because she was like like very confusing, like when did this happen, like, like very confusing and very toxic at the same time. um and from its point of view, well, they got the devil and the free of pentacles. So honestly, from Itzy's perspective, it was all about work. Like, I'm sorry, but I think that the girls were really focused on their own interest. I think that they were really focused on the competition. Even though, yes, we are not saying here that they were disrespectful nor anything, but I think that there were a lot of teamwork here, and there were like we gotta make it the ones that we are. Somehow, it was like for them it was also very, very fishy, but I think that they weren't hurt about that. They were like, okay, because devil, it's about um manipulation, and also a lot of like being clever, being competitive, being let the best one wins. It wasn't like a very lovey-dovey atmosphere. It was like, okay, I guess the ones that we make it because yes, this was a competition. I think that, and honestly, you know why I say this? Because actually the girls were really busy. Like, they didn't have the time to more anything, or even to have an opinion or a thought about it, because they were very harshly, like right away, get back to work. Get to work, get to work. Now that you were selected, get to work. Now that you got the desire, that you got what you wanted, that you were so ambitious to get, now get to work. So the girls actually didn't have any time to process what happened. I don't know. Was this like a sort of survival show, guys? Because I didn't watch it, so I don't know how easy it was made. But it seems like the girls were very rushed by the people. Like, okay, now that you won, get back to work. Go to work. You have a lot of things to do. We put a lot of money on you, so get to work. So they didn't have the time to even form an opinion and feeling something, you know. So and then from if they are still friends or something like that, definitely there's a connection, because we have the two of cups and the two of pentacles, the two of wands, sorry. But I think that they have like a lot of love and like a lot of respect for each other, but from a distance, like from afar. I think that the group, the girls and Somi, they are both in different, like, they are both looking at their own horizons and at their own achievements. So they do not have time. They probably, if they meet very like randomly, and they definitely wish each other's well. They want the other one to succeed, but um they also are like investing on their own future. They're also wondering about their own future, so this is why I think that there's a lot of love and respect. But there's like, okay, maybe we will meet in the future, or maybe in the future we will be able to talk about a few things, but these females definitely, these from what I get from the cards, it seems like they do not have time to stop. They're always thinking about, okay, what can we do to improve this? Okay, like there's always a new task, there's always a new goal. So somehow, I don't know if they are kept busy for some reason. I don't know, but there's this sense that they probably are a bit overwhelmed about their future. That it's not that they do not care about others. It's not that they are self-centered. It's just that they have so much worries and things that they have to look for themselves, to be looking at others. So yeah. Okay. You're welcome, Gabby. Spirit, is it infinite leader that you want me to read for? Songyu. Later, I'm going to need your help, guys, for the timestamps, because I'm sure that there are a lot of people that are going to watch their favorite parts, and I don't know how I'm going to process this. Oh, okay. Songyu. Uy, tiene que people again. Yeah, there's, yes, so it seems. Uh, so it seems that there's a lot of hiatus here. So it seems. Yeah, there could be like a moment where he will do something that it seems that he's out of hiatus, but I don't know. There's a lot of miscommunication here. There's a lot of like there's a lot of lessons to be learned at the same time. And I think that probably if he yeah, the hiatus card. But I think that he, even when he entered, does anyone know the reason why he is on hiatus? Because it seems like he was defeated by something. So, and he seems a bit sad about it. You know, like even frustrated about it. I don't know if it's the people's opinions, the internet, oh, um, there's a lot of like he wishes he could, like this night of ones. Like I could definitely see him like go get back, because the night of ones is about action. There's a possibility of him actually like being able to get out of this state of like having to not being active. But at the same time, he is probably going to be too reckless and trying to, get out or go out, and be like, okay, I'm ready to get back on my horse again. I'm ready. But actually, there's something about this. I don't know if he has like an injury or something like that, that is going to keep coming back in the sort of symptoms. So probably he's like, when he thinks he's fully recovered, somehow he's going to have a symptom that is going to be like, like you are not that recovered yet. So I think that definitely he should pay attention to his body, to what his body is telling him, because uh, there's a lot of frustration here. Definitely, it seems like this event was like, like pushing him to somehow stay like, and he doesn't like that. I feel like there's a lot of anxiety inside of him, but he got the judgment in the middle. So I think that whatever he's going through, it has a purpose. And I know that probably this is not something that he would want to hear. If I had pulled these cards for him, he would be really frustrated, because I'm sure that his questions to the tarot would be like, okay, like, I want to know when I'm going to go back. He seems like he's someone that he's feeling very frustrated at himself. But the judgment card is like, oh, we put this situation here so you can like review a lot of things about yourself. He does have a sort of tendency of keeping himself busy, or somehow keeping himself on the move, to somehow like avoid thinking about a past heartache or deception. So I think that these things are happening in his life, so he can somehow make some things um knowledgeable, like make acknowledge some things, some things need to be taken care of. So yeah, this is very important actually. So I don't know if he will be able to do that, if he will want to do that, but I think that yeah, it's going to take a while actually. um I think, like from what the cards are saying, is that there's no reason for him to force anything, or to suffer unnecessarily, But he needs to acknowledge it. He needs to find the meaning behind all this. Reading for Luna. Will they work with SM again? They worked with Luna. Work with SM? I didn't know that. Yeah, it seems that he's been very stubborn, yes. Even though he didn't get any card of Pentacles. But the Knight of Wands is also been someone very impulsive. Like him wanting to get back in action right away. And like actually being like, his body being like, maybe you need to rest a bit more. And also to pay attention why he got hurt in that place specifically, why that part of his body, what's going on with that. Because it's not an easy, it's not just a bruise, it's deeper. Okay. Someone asked for Luna if they will work with the Sam again. I don't know much about Luna, but I'm going to pull cards for them. Yeah, yeah. Yes, it's deeper than just an injury, it's. Yeah, Lee Suman produced 2 albums for Luna, so what and why no comebacks? Yeah, I think that definitely there's a lot of things about money here. Um, to be honest, because they got the Ten of Pentacles, the first card. So definitely, I think that the girls are very stable. Like, I don't know much about Luna, that probably they are very consistent when it comes to their success or the impact that their work has. So, but there's also this resistancy to, maybe there are some conditions that have to be made, and the girls are like, okay, I'm not moving if you are not providing us with what we want, or with what we think we deserve. So probably, I think that there's a lot of, actually a lot of prosperity here, and a lot of abundance of creation. So I don't think that it's about not having. I think that they do have a lot. The girls, they seem very opulent, like very abundant, like very prosperous. So I don't understand why they are resisting so much. They got the seven of wands in the middle. So somehow they are resisting showing like their abundance, or their ability to be prosperous and to be successful somehow, because there are some things that they feel like they should defend themselves from. So I think that definitely is about money, because we have all these pentacles here, and about money. They want something. They want like I don't know if they want like a sort of number or figure. They are like, okay, we want this amount of this. I think that it has to do with the material world. It does have to do with money. It does have to do with probably, I wouldn't say contracts, because I don't know. But there's also this. I don't think that they are communicating with, if we are talking about their working with the same. I don't think that they are talking to each other. I think that the girls are somehow waiting. They are like, okay, we are going to wait as much as we have to wait. Like, they are definitely on the resistance. They're on the resistance. I think that the positive part of this is that they know what they know what they deserve. They know that they are good. They have like a very, um I wouldn't say feminist, like, but they are very proud of themselves. They know that they can make it. They know that they deserve better. So I think that they are waiting like patiently until someone actually sees their value, because they have the free of wands at the end. So I think that probably a proposition is going to come their way very soon. But I think that when this comes, they are already ready, because I think that, I don't know if this in this group they have a lot of songwriters, or some members that are very into the creative process, but they do have on their power a lot of like creations. So yeah, I think that they definitely, if they are on the resistance, is maybe because they feel like there are some things that are not good for them. So they are like, okay, we are going to wait until we get actually like a better proposition. mm. Yeah, there's one of them like holding on really tight, like being like, I'm not moving. You make the move, I'm not moving. So yeah, but they will soon will be able to rise. They will be soon be able to rise, with their own magic and with their own creation. They have the power. It's just that they are being inflexible right now, because they feel like they have to defend themselves from something. But they definitely know their worth, which is very admirable from. And it's not. And the thing, because this does happen to me, that when I read for girl groups, yes, a lot of them can have an attitude of like, oh, I know what I'm worth and everything, but it's just mental. It's like, okay, like, yes, I know I'm powerful, I know I'm influential, but it's all in the mind, or it's all in words. But in the case of these girls, it's not so much talking, it's more like an attitude, and it's like a way of behavior. Like, I'm showing you with my actions, or with my non-action, I'm showing you that I'm not giving up on what you want out of me. Like, I'm not moving. You can wait and sit around all you want. Okay, guys, I'm going to take one more and I'm going to go, because we had been here for a while, and you know that this was like a sort of first um trial of this format to see if this is okay. um so I hope. But yes, I'm going to take one more request and then I'm going to go. Did someone at the beginning mention Kai and Lucas? I think I read something. I already did it, Fluffy. It's at the beginning. Oh, yeah, sure. But where did you get where did that image come from? Like, is it from their Instagram or it was leaked? I don't think it was. Oh, well, I don't know. I'm not going to secure it. Okay. Okay, so then I'm going to pull a card for Kai and Lucas to see. Um, he has a comeback this week. Right? I think I did one. Bonho. Yeah, I think I did, or we talked about him. I had the same feeling, Samara. I had like, didn't I read for him already? Like, or probably pull cards or something like that. I think. I did. Or maybe it's it because I'm old. But yeah, when you ask, I had a sort of deja vu. Like, okay. Kai and Lucas then. But I want you to confirm me, guys, is that picture like real? Or is it edit? Really? Oh my God. Are they connected? Oh. Maybe then we can pull cards from that account. Who is that guy or person that is doing this? And what's their intention behind all this? Well, we know what their intention is, but why, like, on these specific idols? Is that the yeah, definitely spirit. The account name is Guru Mihari. Yeah, no, I don't think that person is worth it. Honestly, no, I have a bad feeling about that person. Let's better not pull cards. All right, let's go into pull cards for Wonho, Wono. I always call him Wono. Maybe I know it's Wonho, but yeah, yeah, I don't. Yeah, for Wonho or Wono, um, yeah, he definitely he is the emperor. Like, there's no need to say this. I think that definitely he does fear, because we have, the Five of Cups in um in the middle, so he does have a sort of fear of loss. Definitely. He knows that times are changing. He knows that there's a change coming. He's a very sensitive person. He knows it. He can feel it in his body. But if it has to do with work and actually his achievements, definitely this comeback is going to be very good for his soul, for himself. He's going to feel very good about himself, with his self-esteem. He's going to feel very very abundant, very prosperous, very like really being like, oh, this is my creation. I made this. I made this on my own. Like, he's finally like getting comfortable with the idea of that he's in on his solitary career, and that this is paying off. That slowly he's like seeing the results of his hard work, and that he's doing this all with his own image. And that now it seems like his image is somehow a bit more stable than what it was before. So maybe the audience, or maybe the fans, or maybe the new fans, but all of them are somehow like being part of helping him realize how far he has come, with this soloist role, and him like owning it, like being proud, and allowing to be like, okay, this is what I created. This is me. This is me shining here. So for him, it's going to be something very nice. So yeah, I definitely sense that he knows, like I mentioned, someone did talk about the enlistment and stuff. He knows that, yeah, there are some things that are going to change about his life, but somehow there's a part of him that he's keeping very optimistic about it. He's like, okay, I need to change priorities, and he's also thinking a lot about family life, and he's also thinking about his family, and also about his own emotional stability. So probably he's thinking about marriage. Should I get married? Like, a lot of things are changing in him. So I think that he is definitely like maturing, not only as an artist, but as an individual as well. And even though there are some things that he does regret, there are some things that he does regret. But somehow he's also grateful for the people that stay by his side. So he is feeling like he's not wasting time with regrets. He's like acknowledging that yes, he wish things were different sometimes, but that now he is in a better place, and that somehow there are some, he doesn't have certain, he does regret a few things, but at the same time he's glad he has set himself free from others. So yeah, he's definitely like changing his perception of himself and his life, and he knows that he's entering a new state in his life. So yeah. Yeah, but not maybe not about marriage, but probably about having children, about because he does feel lonely from time to time, so probably he does miss like being part of a very loving community, or being in he was part of a group, so somehow he's someone that he feels better when he's surrounded by others. So probably he's thinking about, oh, maybe I should like have a family of my own because I'm getting older and I don't want to be alone. Oh, thank you guys. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. This was like a very strange format, especially because I don't trust this sort of thing here. But I'm going to see during the week if I can like adjust it better, so it can hold like better. But yeah, thankfully it didn't fail me until now. So so yeah, guys, yes. uh, oh, thank you, Fluffy. Thank you, Fluffy. Yeah, we should do like a live about yeah, about the experience of reading tarot. Um oh, thank you, Gabby. Um yeah, we should do that. I know that next week probably I'm going to do the live on, it's going to be weird, but probably I'm going to do the live on Friday because Friday is it's a holiday here. So I do have that day free. So I would probably do a live that day. I don't know if some of you can join. It's going to be at 10 a.m. My time. But yeah, we can do a live about about talking about um the experience of reading tarot and other things that we all talk, we always come up with very various different kind of um, topics, and we also reflect a lot about ourselves. So yes, yes, it's really beautiful. Actually, it's nice to talk about um, the different experience with with you guys, because when I started learning tarot, it was a very lonely experience, and it was something that I learned by myself when I was really young, and I didn't want others to know, and I felt really weird about it because there wasn't much information. So, to think that now, like 20 years later, now suddenly, reading cards, it's like more like acceptable, and that somehow you have information out there and you can choose what to believe, that it's not that just because a book says it, that it's the golden rule, no, to each practice and each process their own. But yes, I'm glad I can help sharing my experience as well with you. So yes, guys, I'm going to yeah, yeah, guys. I'm going to finish this here. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much to all the people that are always here, that always join my lives. I know that you all have your lives, but definitely reading you and seeing your comments, and what we share on Discord, we always like have fun, and we are always here like supporting each other. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. I appreciate it. Have a great week. Bye.